solutions which are for Indian conditions and which are technological solutions and which are sort of seeded in India, like this small cold storage. You making a big cold storage out of fashion because you use a cold storage only for a few weeks in a year. So how can we, do this? That do you want to set up units here? Do you want to set up your innovation labs here, where the students, the Indian people, they come up with problems and they come up with answers, and you provide the technology? How can we go forward on this? Because when you're talking about circular economy, everything is a circle, including countries and organizations.
Thank you, Pankaj.
You have
I have a small
presentation. Okay, good. So that's my job today, to keep making the circular economy thing simple and join the dots. And that's why I keep talking. You must be saying this guy is crazy. He's talking about Netflix. He's talking about, MasterChef and all that. But all these things are connected. This is how we connect things. This is how all of us are connected. This is how the economies are connected. This is how the human beings are connected. And we are getting more and more connected because now our consumption of at least entertainment, sports, and news is totally global. Yes, Saharsh.
Thank you, Pankaj, and thank you very much for all the speakers. They have well said about circular economy. I don't think I'll be able to justify all the questions raised by Pankaj, but I'll try and answer in my own way, and whatever contribution what we are trying to make towards making not only the Indian economy more circular, but also the world. But before I start, I think since I've been here this morning, I've been listening to all the speakers. One thought which has been echoing, and this is very personal, it's in my heart, so I thought I'll say that first. That I think an August gathering by the Swedish Institute, people sitting here discussing circular economy, itself says that now is the time to start looking at everything what we do from a lens of circular economy. Everything what we do from sustainability. Now is the time to take stock for each of us, the kind of negative impact we are generating, because as Greta has already said, that we are not leaving the earth in a better shape for our future generation. So I think very well arranged gathering. Thank you, Puran sir, for inviting me. And I don't know how to make that call, because that call cannot be mine alone or cannot be of the panel or of the Swedish Institute. It has to come from the government, from the corporations, from every individual who wants to be part of this journey. My context will be limited because I will represent a company and I will try and justify our contribution through our examples. I represent a company called Sandvik. Sandvik is a Swedish multinational. We are about 165-year-old. And why I wanted to mention 165-year-old, by itself it shows that we have seen 2 world wars, we have seen technology changes, we have shaped ourselves to be more prepared for the future. And when we're doing so, we are of course keeping things in mind in such a way that we are not only sustainable with our operations, but also with people. We don't work in Sweden and India only. Our presence is about 120 countries. We are about 50,000 odd people. Why I'm mentioning this, that when you're talking about company to company or corporation to corporation tie-up, it impacts the country as well, because Sweden, and I'm very happy to represent a Swedish company, and I should also say that this is the longest stint I had, this is my 8th year. The values what Sweden talks about, like innovation, like sustainability, like gender equality, does percolate down to us who work with them, and then eventually percolates down to our supply chain, to our families, to our people whom we work with. So that's Sandvik for you. We are a heavy engineering company. We produce machines. We are one of the global leaders when it comes to cutting tools. And Sandvik is not only a company but a conglomerate. So if anybody's from cutting tool company will know Coromont, Walter, Seco, Carbola. These are all our brands which are again operating in 100 different countries. We are We make mining machines, so we don't mine, but we create machines which has less human interaction, high on safety, try and create lesser and lesser impact on the environment so that the machine and the human are safe and the production is high. We also are into metal. So Sandvik materials technology is one of the technology which has given so much to the world so far. And also added to Chandrayaan, and the external sheet of Chandrayaan was made in the R&D of Pune here. So there have been a lot of contribution when it comes to this company, slow and giant, but we do make systemic changes. Can you please take the next slide? This is very important for me, and what in a nutshell it says, and what Dr. Haleem, Mr. Haleem was also referring about, is counting our own negative impact. How we build our sustainability or our circular economy is to continuously account for our own negative impact. And the moment we account it, we start reducing it. And that's where we create a positive impact on social environment and I've already shared we are a big company, we have multiple market areas, so we not only talk about mining, automobile, and energy, aerospace, but also general engineering. This is one slide which is again corporation to corporation or country to country we're talking about. Our company's last March statement, last May statement, is to put circularity at the heart of our operations.
Sorry, Anbar has to leave.
Is to make circularity at the heart of our operation and ensure that 90% of our work or whatever we are producing goes back into the economy, goes back into the circular economy factor. I'll quickly go into, this is how the business will drive. Can you go to the next slide? These are our three pillars. Of course, you all are expert when it comes to economic, social, and environmental impact. But how we achieve our goal is something I thought we will like it. So the next example is from the economic dimension. We want to combine performance and sustainability. So some of the answer what Mr. Pachauri was looking at, it comes from the next slide, which is innovating for future. This is world's first fuel cell car. The only thing what it emits is pure water. This car is already made, developed, is ready in Stockholm. If you are in Stockholm anytime, please visit Sandvik in office. You will be able to drive in this car. It's a free drive basically. So this, something like this is going to change drastically how the world is looking at the CO2 emission. And the product is already ready. I can talk so many things about it, but it's a simple fuel cell car run on hydrogen. On environmental impact, again, India needs, so this is very personal for me, and before this I was heading CSR for Distillery, managed so many cases when it comes to post-consumer behavior and what Pankaj was referring to, the sachet thing. When the sachet comes out, it goes into the dustbin or on the road, and companies like Distillery, Coca-Cola and everyone gets impacted on it because our operations are stopped. And our operations are stopped not because we are the polluters. And I understand that bottled water never produces water, only produces bottled. And I think 10 years into it, now I can very confidently say that. But the heart or the crux of that problem is, and I manage cases from south till everywhere, almost about 18 district cases I've handled. Everywhere, the problem is post-consumer behavior. Everyone, and I can assure you from whatever category people are coming in, the post-consumer behavior towards a used product is still very bad for us. Not one company can solve it. And each company can take steps on it to reduce their own negative impacts. So what we have done is, we create, can you go to the next slide? Recycling is part of our DNA. So the first example is we are a cutting tool agency. So what we do is, whoever uses our cutting tool across India, there is a mechanism set to go and collect those used bits back. And why it's very difficult. It's like collecting a staple pin, exactly. And that has to be incentivized, it has to be part of the marketing pitch, that happens. But what do we do from that after it is even more important. Because that's where circularity comes in. What we do, we collect everything, we bring it back to our Chitloon plant, and we, after that, recycle it in an organic process. Rather than making it more scientific, but the moment you make it more organic, the minerals are kept alive. We are not going to the conflict mineral zone. We are recreating the mineral again and recreating those products in a recycling way. That's one of the biggest programs what we promote, and there is a factory to do it. It's not one stop. It's not a solution. It's a factory of 100 people who do this work, and this is in Chitloon, Pune, or Maharashtra, if you can say. This is again a very important solution. This is where the cold storage thing comes out. The sand, what you use in Hawaii, was supposed to be imported. Now, the cost of getting those sand from another country, the CO2 impact, everything was on high. And I'm telling you the story. It was very simple. The sand was available. It was in a round shape. Somebody only had to invent a machine to make it hexagonal. And the moment it is done, the building can be created. So that's where we solve the problem. I'm going to go a step ahead within this example itself. There are multiple things what the machines can create, but these machines also die. And the worst part is they are not recycled or they're thrown. So what Sandvik does is wherever their operations are becoming strong, and these machines are expensive, we refurbish those machines and make it reused for the government or the company whoever we are working at. I'm coming from an opening, from a program yesterday where we have started another refurbishing center in the airport. So it's a twin strategy. You not only solve the local problem, but you solve it in such a way that it is continuous and the machine or the cost that is invested into it gets it more revenue out of it. Social dimension, I can go on this because being a Swedish company, there are a lot of social initiatives which we go through. Of course, diversity, inclusion, HR policy. At the heart of it, I just want to say that safety is the top priority for us when it comes to social inclusion. Why safety is because we believe that every human has dignity, has respect, has the right to participate, to be part of the economic cycle of business. And there, we believe that whatever we are doing, we should be very close to human and save them in every way. Of course, policies are changing. We can facilitate, train people, upgrade them, but making them precious and special is something what we set as priority. Next slide. There are many community engagement programs what we are running in India. All of them, of course, contribute in different ways to circular economy. Of course, environmental initiatives can be directly accounted for our CO2 impact, and those initiatives are going on. But to touch on what Nishtha was talking about, to dialogue with women, I just want to highlight one small program and my part. The Sandvik India Gender Award is a CSR initiative. Of course, award and CSR don't go along. So award is a separate process and CSR is a separate process. But what we do is to take the Sustainable Development Goal 5. We look at innovations in India where women in government, in non-profit organization, in academia, in private organization, in individual CBOs, whoever is doing your innovation, we find out that innovation so that it accelerates the process of achieving gender equality or sustainable development goal 5. And so far I have about 2,000 cases and about 32 winners whom we are running in different parts of India. Very quickly, of course, as a company, we contribute on sustainable development goals. The goals which have been highlighted are the goals which are recorded and put into our business sustainability report. Of course, we are in the Dow Jones Sustainability Index as well, and one of the top organizations there. This helps us how our business is connecting to social or environment or to any kind of impact what we feel. Give me the last slide, please. And this is what the company stands for. We set the industry standards. Thank you.
Thank you, Saharsh, and that's really laudable work you've done here. But still, I would say that what in circular economy we would like to see more is solutions, local solutions to local problems supported by multinationals. So that's the only way I think forward, because when Indians get up in the morning, use toothbrush, toothpaste, have one egg, all of them, and take a bus or a car or a mobike to their office. I think if all Indians and all Chinese started doing it, there will be no plastic left, there will be no aluminium left if you are using a toothpaste made of aluminium, and there will be no petroleum left. So the burden would be on the countries, multinationals who are quite established in this area. And that's another thing which comes out of today's discussion is that post-consumption habits. That has to be, I think, built into the design now. There's one more thing in the circular economy design, that post-consumption habits have to be in that design. So every sachet is written on it, or you instruct the consumer that this is how you have to dispose this particular thing, and that has to be part of it. And communication again has to be part of it, and as part of communication, as part of partner of this initiative by Swedish Institute, Swedish alumni and FDI, we are very grateful from GoNews side. And our contribution to this circular thinking is that we did not bring our cameraman today because someone told me that there's a camera there and they're recording it. But we are going to use it. It will be available on our website, highlights of today's proceedings. So that's why I think it's time for lunch. And whatever questions you have, you can post it online and talk to people. That will, I think, also save time. So I thank everyone here. Thank you very much for being here.